Hey, good morning and welcome to this ShipIT partner training session. Sorry for the little delay. We had some small technical issues that we solved just before 10 o'clock. So welcome to the session. Today, my colleague Andre will will show you how ShipIT works and how to implement it for your customers. The main focus of this training is on the implementation side. Before we get started, I want to take a quick moment to run you through the solutions that idyn offers. Direct banking. Save 80% of your daily banking processing time. This solution allows you to connect the Business Central either to Pronto for European banks and Cobase for European and worldwide banks. ShipIT 365, that's the session of today. Integrate 1,250 carriers worldwide, connect to Enshift Transmart or Enshift Delivery Hub or SendCloud or multiple of those, and book and print your labels directly from Business Central. You can now also integrate ShipIT into the Tasklet factory mobile AMS. So you can pick, pack, and ship directly from your handheld device. Connected 365 is the connectivity toolkit for Business Central users and developers. Use multiple formats and multiple methods to have your data exchange between Business Central and other data sources. Approve-it 365. This is a new solution by idyn. Let your customers e-sign your sales quotes directly from Business Central. Approve-it connects Business Central to DocuSign. So this is a new solution. So I just said today at 3 o'clock we will have a training session about Approve-it. If you want to join, you can do so by going to idyn.nl/news. Take the news bulletin about the partner day, and there you will find the register link for Approve-it. Dino by idyn is a small pay-per-use app where you can create any fields to any table on any page in Business Central. And starting 2023, you can now also edit tables in Business Central in bulk. Object Manager Advanced. This solution doesn't need any introduction. It's the all you need development tool for NAV and Business Central. So let's dive into today's session. Andre will walk you through topic by topic of ShipIT 365. If you have any questions, ask them in the question tab. We will have multiple points where we'll check the questions and do the Q&A about the topics we just discussed. If you have a question that's not particularly regarded to the topics that Andre is discussing, but regarded to ShipIT, we offer a Q&A at the end of this session. There's time scheduled for that. So let's get started. Andre, are you ready to take over?
Yes, if you my sound's okay, then I'm ready to go into the session.
Let's make it work. Thank you.
All right. All right, so welcome this morning for the ShipIT 365 partner training session. Well, today I'm going to show you some topics how to set up ShipIT for different providers. and just some of the ins and outs that we have on the current solution. For the topics for today, I want to address the following things: the multi-provider setup that we can have, also your favorite providers, of course. We are going to look at the ShipIT setup, what we can find over there. After those, let's say configurations, I want to show you how to set up the shipping agent mappings with your carriers, some of the customer setup features. We have also the freight cost. That's a new functionality that we have. Not really new, but it's redesigned and it's more connected to the BC Central basic service charge. After that, in the whole setting, we will do some postings on posted documents and posted documents, how to achieve, let's say, your business flow. So those topics with unposted documents and posted documents and transport orders will go in different parts of this this session. We'll go over it step by step on the different providers also. And the last point of this session will be shipping agents calendars and how to set them up and how to use them. Right, let's go. So in the new solution, we are just adding providers at the moment. The original ShipIT solution was only connected to Transmart. We now have, let's say, also the delivery, also an N-Shift company, available in the same ShipIT product. And we had a separate app for the SendCloud, and we transformed that to ShipIT, and also the SendCloud is now part of the ShipIT application. So this means that we can provide one application and connect to Transmart, SendCloud, and Delivery Hub. It's not that you have to use them all. You just connect the favorite one that you have. But if you want to, you can have multiple providers in your business central system, and you can send out your documents to Transmart, SendCloud, or Delivery if you have the contract with those providers, of course. What we will do in the first part of this session, I will just connect the providers as is, and see what different features there are on the providers. Basically, we want to achieve that most of the settings are the same, but because there are different APIs on the background and different services on the background, we have some different behaviors on some of the services and booking profiles. So we will see that in the session itself, which features are different from each other. One of the topics that we are going to discuss, let's say, the generic setup for all providers, setting packages and default settings is, of course, different for the providers themselves. So this is one of the topics that we are going to discuss. Of course, the mapping, the most important one. If we do not have mapping, we will not achieve to have bookings in the different provider portals. Important for this mapping now, we have different providers right now, and the mapping is somewhat different for SendCloud or Delivery regarding to the default that we had at Transmart. So we're going to look at that one also. Something on the default customer setup, the freight cost that we just talked about. And post documents is something with the ShipIT setup that we are going to talk about this morning. And after that, yeah, we will see some features what we have in the transport orders, and what you can see over there, how the status are working, and how you can update and clean up everything in the transport order list or the transport orders. I also want to talk to you about the additional reference that we have for Transmart. Lots of questions about those fields. And last topic of today is working with calendars and how you can set up the calendars for your different services and carriers. All right. Let's start with the PowerPoint presentation and just go to the main screen and see if we can show. Let's see why we have. Yes. So let's start with Business Central. When you're installing the ShipIT 365 app, you will also install the idyn app management. The idyn app management is needed for the connections to the different providers. So all the API web service URLs and different client IDs, secret IDs, public IDs are stored in app management application. And most of all, the ShipIT 365 is doing, let's say, the functional process of of making your transport orders and booking your transport orders. So be aware that we both have to be published in the extension management to have a good working solution for ShipIT. That's part one. And if it's installed, we go to the ShipIT setup wizard. And the setup wizard is helping you out to set up most of the defaults of your different transport providers. I think I will just start with the wizard and we'll go to the wizard for setup of the Transmart. I will try to make the setup for all in one time, and then I will switch them on and off to see what the difference are. So let's start with Transmart. So let's say the original ShipIT with Transmart. We go to the ShipIT wizard and we will go to set up the connection with the transport portal. So first of all, we have the ShipIT wizard key. Of course, you get the key from our sales if you buy the product. If it's a pallet, you can go to the next step and you have to create your transport order number series and your default ship country. The shipping country is needed for a correct connection. And after that, you already will be in the selection of the different providers. So I start with Transmart and just click on Transmart to open the Transmart specific setup. Okay, the credentials are already filled in. Normally, if you have the contract with Transmart, you will have a configuration sheet from Transmart, what is configured, and you will have also this information in that configuration sheet. And that's your first step to have a clean install on ShipIT with the Transmart configurations. So what it does when I enter the credentials correct and the account codes, it will prompt up for the enabled, and it will click on the retraction of the master data. We'll just click yes now. And it did not work.
Andre?
Yes.
I'm going to interrupt you for a little bit.
Yeah.
We are seeing the installed extensions page.
Hey, that's strange.
So could you check for your sharing? Could you check for me which screen you are sharing?
I have only one screen. So is it jammed? Let's see what happened. Sharing.
And the question is also if you can speak up a little bit louder. We had some audio issues, so that's maybe why he's a little bit less good to hear. I now see the Cronus ShipIT. I see now the ShipIT setup.
Okay, then it was jammed or something. I don't know. Okay.
And could you speak up a little bit or speak a little bit more clearly?
Let's see if it's better like this sound or some.
Let's just continue.
Yeah. Okay. Just we're talking about let's say the setup of the ShipIT setup wizard that we can use to set up the different providers. We need the transport order number series and the default country where you ship from. We click on next. And then we see the different providers. I will start with Transmart and the specific Transmart setup. And I will see if I have the credentials in place. Transmart. Now, I just copied the credentials. Normally it should just enable the master data. So the ShipIT master data has been successfully updated. This means that we have a connection with the portal. From the portal, we retrieved the setup for the carriers in the booking profiles, the package types, and so on. So the initial user is created in the user setup. You can add multiple users over here to just go to the portal or just book and print solutions. Here's the package types. Also in Transmart, you import the package types. They are set up in the portal itself and also retrieved in Business Central. We can set up a default package type over here. And basically, that's it. You can go in and see which shipment methods we have over here. Incoterms has also done something retrieved. We have to map. And if it's configured in the portal of Transmart, you can set up cost centers in the portal, and you can set up email type, email templates in the Transmart portal. We can retrieve those information in Business Central, and we can add those, for instance, defaulting in the customer card. I will show you later on. And of course, your carriers that are available. So I set just one box right now for the defaults. We see some conversion over here. For Transmart, it's just based on kilograms. You can use it if you have your items in different item unit of measures, of course. And then you can set up some additional things over here. I will close this space now. And yeah, well, so I can finish up for Tasklet, of course, having an automatic add one default package. We have some information about your warehouse, the opening hours, and your pickup hours for your warehouse. And we can close this. And for now, we have, let's say, one provider configured. So this means that for this provider, we can see it's enabled, and we can go and do the additional mappings. I think for the providers right now, I think it's maybe good to also do this for the delivery hub and for SendCloud right away, so you can see the difference from both. For the delivery hub itself, I will go to select as delivery hub. I go to the setup card, and also on the delivery hub there is already some items installed over here. I will do the same procedure. Also for the delivery hub, you get, let's say, the credentials from the NSEFT account management, and we just put in the credentials right now. Some additional differences from the API connection and the data connection, client connection. And also the same over here, retrieve master data. This will take a little bit longer because for delivery there's a lot more to have in place. That's also the big difference between the SendCloud, the Transmart, and the delivery hub. The delivery hub is, let's say, has more packages. Packages are linked to goods types, and goods types are just the services, the booking profile. So each booking profile can have different packages, and it will just have a lot of additional information in your system. So the setup for delivery hub is more complex, but the basics, yeah, well, it's just for the mapping, it's just the same, but this for the package type is not that easy. It's taking a little bit longer than I expected. Well, let's wait a little moment that it will finish up. It's almost there. Carriers are now retrieved, and there we are. For the delivery, the same idea over here. You see your carriers. I retrieve the carriers over here, and also a little bit important over here. Delivery is working with grams, so I changed this one in grams right now because my items are kilograms. Also, then depending on your environment where you are, and I have to do one thing. It wants to have kilograms for the calculations, so I have to change this one also. Same here. If it's all there, it will have for each carrier name you will see a lot of booking profiles and packages. And you see you have, let's say, for the same package for different booking profiles. So there's a big difference between a delivery hub and Transmart. Now you set up the packages in the Transmart portal, and this is just retrieved from the delivery part, and being part of each different booking profile. Also, big difference over here that you see length, width, height, and weight. In Transmart, you do set it up in the portal itself. For the delivery hub, you have to set it up in the business center environment. So this is the part of the delivery hub, and then I will close also with SendCloud. The set card of SendCloud, and I will also get the credentials from SendCloud and see where it is. SendCloud there. So a public key and a secret key. And then we have the question, do you want to retrieve the master data? You can say yes, and then you can get a pop-up. Be aware if you just click yes and you have no setup in SendCloud for which countries you are going to ship to. it will try to get all booking profiles in the business central. So it takes a lot of time, and this also can have, let's say, timeout errors. So be sure that you set up the correct ones in ShipIT before you synchronize. So I'll click right now no, and it will go to ship from and ship to countries. And I think it's already in place. Yes. Important. So I go now to the SendCloud portal, and I have addresses over here. So for this demo environment, I have a German ship from address, a Dutch, UK, and again a Dutch one. So what we can do, and I'll show it on the German one, we can set it ship from SendCloud for a yes. And I click here over yes. So I will only select the shipping from Germany to Germany over here. So if I do a new setup for this part, let's say I have Denmark in place. I click over here, then it will show all countries. Just delete everything and just select then I will only ship from Denmark to, for instance, Denmark, like this. And so you can retrieve your data with filtering. Go back to the ones that I already did. So I have Netherlands, I have Great Britain, Denmark. I will now want to do that one. Oh. And also on the Netherlands, I do have also use return available. Also important that you have then only to synchronize the returns possibility from that part being the Netherlands. And well, it's already enabled. I will try it again. Well, yes. So now it will only select the different countries. Otherwise, it will be everything. So be aware of this this feature that you will first set up your country specific. Other difference in SendCloud in behavior than delivery and Transmart is the package types. We have package types set up in SendCloud, but it's not, let's say, synchronized. So you have to make the same package types available also in. See. So normally you should make the same package types available here. This is one-time setup, and you will be off to use this also with the SendCloud. So this is the main difference. Also here, I can select a default package, of course, and now I have, let's say, 3 providers available for using different providers available in ShipIT. This should not be, I think, common for the most of your customers. I think it will be delivery or SendCloud or Transmart, and all of them you need contracts for all of them. So it will be, I guess, a choice of the best ones that can have, let's say, the complete set of your carriers in their solution. For now, let's go to Transmart. I will enable those two for now and see what we have for the mappings. So first we go to the ShipIT setup. And this is some generic information. In the wizard, we already did see some of those features passing. The license key and so on. We have the dates over here. We have transport order numbers. Also important, we have logging enabled debug mode for Delivery Hub and for Transmart. We have also some logging information that you can see what is in the request and the responses. So we can use this for, let's say, information if there are errors or some kind of questions towards the providers if bookings are not going correct. On top of it is how it behaves, let's say, through the program to Business Central itself. So how do you want to create a transport order, and what do you want to have on your transport order on information? I will go over those items quickly. I'll put it on edit. We have the base transport orders on unposted documents or posted documents. The main difference on this one, if you have unposted documents, you can already create your transport orders from a sales order, an open sales order, or an open warehouse document. Far easy. So you create just a sales order. Click if everything is in place in the sales order, you just click create transport order, and you can go and forward the transport order to your provider. And also for your warehouse shipments, if you have the picking and registering ready, also from the warehouse shipment, you can create your transport order. So this is the first feature. The second feature in your process can be that you want to do it from posted documents. And posted documents is if you post your sales order to a sales shipment, it will also in the background create your transport order for sending it out. If this one is on how to create. If not, you have to go to your posted shipment of your posted warehouse document and then create your transport order. I have the enable beta features over here. It's enabled. If I disable this one, it will only auto-create your transport order. If I enable it, it shows you a little bit more. So then it's auto-create your transport order, but not book it to the provider. Try to auto-create and book the transporter to the provider. The last is the complete set that you create and you book and print your transport order. So there can be a flow that you have your sales order going to the warehouse shipment is posted, then transport order is created, and eventually also it will try to book and print the label. So these are the flavors right now. I will just do it on unposted document for now. You see over here, it can also be then all those part on purchase return orders and transfer orders. We have also the sales return order. And the sales return order currently is only supporting, let's say, open documents, because we will not, we cannot achieve it to go through the warehouse, and there are separate processes to receive your return goods in the warehouse. Is of course part of your return order, but because we do not know what you're going to receive, we can create the open document itself. The transport order itself from the open document, open the sales return order. Base preferred date on posting date or planned date. If most of your time your posting date is, let's say, today, pick up today, deliver tomorrow, put it on posting date, and each document that you create will be then posting date plus your lead time is your delivery date. If it's on planned date, you can do more and more work in the future and do a planned date on preferred delivery dates based on calendars and that kind of stuff. And on posting date, it will only do it. It will work with calendars, but for instance, only on, for instance, that you have a pickup on Friday. It's too late to pick up, and then it will just set the date for pickup on Monday because you have closing days on the weekends, that kind of stuff. Always new transport orders. Also something to think about, how is the process going? Do you have multiple order sales lines for one customer with the same carrier, the same destination, same service, from the same location, of course? You can add those lines, your source lines, into one transport order. So this means that you have you can reduce some cost of, let's say, having one transport for multiple sales order to the same address. If you put it on enabled, it will just create a transport order per document, per source document. This notification is now enabled. This just more surely means that if the transport order is created, that you get a notification that you can open the transport order direct. You can suppress that one. Addresses for invoice address, sell to customer or bill to customer. If you have a lot of customers that have a bill to customer that is different from the sell to customer, put this on bill to customer. So then your bill to your invoice information on the transport order will be different than your information for the delivery. Background booking is something from the system. You can do background sessions and post separately. Also, again, we have the default packages in the different providers. Do you want to automatically add one default package in your order or in your transport order? You can also enable this over here. And also, this means that we can also add the delivery note lines to your transport order. Basically, needing for instance, the Transmart portal, then you can create a commercial documents and delivery notes electronically or on paper. New feature in ShipIT is link delivery lines with packages. In the default license, it will not be available. If you need for this, just contact our sales department because you have a piece of additional license needed for this. And what it does is that you can link your items that you are going to ship with the packages that you have in your transport order. So sometimes you see more and more that customers want to know what's in the package. Carriers want to know what's in the package, and so you can just assign and add your items to separate packages and have more detailed information. Other news about that is that we have then also your track and trace for each separate package available in the system. Shipping info is about your agents. That the copy from your source document from your sales order into your warehouse documents. The Bing API key is something that you can create in the Bing solution, and this is to do with the fact box with showing the map with the route from your shipment to your delivery address. Now, beta features already told. And allow item types has to do with non-inventory and service items also being enabled to put those on transport orders, but only, for instance, based on your sales orders and sales shipments, not through the warehouse. All right. So basically, this is currently what we have for setup. Now, this is some features that we have compatibility. It has to do with if we are using updating transport orders. Transport order cleanup has to do with potential periods that you can also clean up transport orders that are already delivered and done. Again, we can go to the providers over here for the setup. Sometimes also important to know if you're going to upgrade, if something is not doing what it should do, please try to also do this data upgrade over here to see if this helps you out if something is not correctly doing its thing after the upgrade. Yeah, that's for the ShipIT setup for now. That should be good enough to go ahead with doing some mappings. I don't know, Alec, if there already are questions. So I'll just continue with the mappings. It's quiet, so yeah, we'll just continue then. The mappings, the shipping agent mappings. So this is what you need to get, let's say, the Business Central basic functionality mapped to your carriers and your booking profiles. After retrieving your data, we have some data available for shipping agent mappings, currency mappings, country region mappings, and language mappings for Transmart. I will just start with the shipping agent mappings. On the left, you have your shipping agent codes and your shipping agent name. That's just the default on Business Central that you can use on your sales orders, or you can make this default available on your customer. I will do this Transmart DHL setup right now. And I select the provider. And on the right, you will see the provider Transmart and the retrieved carriers from the portal. I will map the DHL Euro Plus. We have 7 services available over here. I will not map them all. Click OK. So now I have, let's say, a mapping for DHL. From shipping agent code, we have also shipping agent services. I have the services for Business Central on the left side. This is default Business Central field. Already services available, Euro Plus, Express service on Saturday. So I can just select one or create a new one, of course, because we have different ones. I think there are only 3 in this one. Yeah. Important shipping time for the service. If you have shipping times which take longer than 1 day, just add the shipping time over here. So I selected Euro Plus on the left, and then I will go to the booking profiles on the right. And I have also Euro Plus over here. So I will make those settings complete. Express service, and express service over here. And we have something express on Saturday. I did see that over there. So of course, I now mapped 3 of the 7 ones, and you can see it over here that those are mapped. And you can see it from different parts also in the system. When mapped, I was thinking, should I do it for SendCloud? I will just first do Transmart. I will just add SendCloud and delivery later on. Once the service is mapped and all other mappings are done, you have the currency mappings enabled. This is needed for the Transmart part so that you can convert if needed from different currencies. You have always for the local currency empty with euro, because Business Central local is empty. You have some country region mappings, which are needed, and possibly language mappings. If everything is good installed in Business Central, these mappings will be created automatically. So the shipping agent mapping is done. We have mapped the shipping agent with the carrier, and we mapped the service. So this means that with this mapping, I already can do some bookings. Let's try one with service DHL. Create a new sales order. I will pick Adatum Corporation. You see on the right some ShipIT65 fields, account number. You can set it for Transmart account number over here to forward the cost of, for instance, DHL. If this customer has also a contract with DHL and you have the account number of the contract, the cost of the freight will be forwarded to this account number. So this is a possibility in Transmart. Again, defaults for the cost center and the email template for notifications if needed. And if we go a little bit to the bottom of the page, we have the shipment method code. You have your agents and your agent service. So this is something that you can default, of course, but you can also select this on the sales split itself. I will pick this one, DHL, Transmart, and we'll pick Euro Plus. So this means now we default those things over here. You can always change it. You can change it if the carrier selection is available from Transmart, or you just can change it manually, of course. You see over here, important provider is Transmart. If you have only one provider installed and enabled, it will automatically pick that provider over here. If you have multiple providers, you have to select the provider that you want to book the shipment. What do we see more? Because we have the default setup in the provider setup being in the box, and also add one default package in the ShipIT setup, it will also show the default package over here. And yeah, the only thing that we need is now the items that we want to send out to the customer. It's slow today. If needed, if you have a planned date, you can work with the requested delivery date. Also, it can help you with the carrier selection. I will put it on Friday right now. Something that you can configure and in Tasklet portal is to work with carrier selections. Oh, sorry, I'm not there yet. Carrier selection will show you the possibilities to do this transport. You see the different carriers that are configured with rates in Transmart, and you can see which can perform the shipment and which price is there for that shipment, the rate. Everything what's green over here, you see that's mapped. So this means that we can select those mapped items. The other ones I did not map, so they are now red. So if you want to use them, I can't use them because I first have to map those. I'll close this one. Because we have the ShipIT setup on open documents, I have location over here being Castle. It's not linked to warehouse processing. So this means that from now I can just click on process and create transport order. And the notification is on to show me that the transport order is created. I can open it over here. And we open the additional entity from the ShipIT. This is not Business Central, this is a ShipIT add-on that's showing the transport order, and that one is collecting, let's see, all information that's needed to get a correct shipment. We've talked about that Bing API key, that's for the router that has to be performed. Well, what's over here? We talked about the delivery note lines that we have over here. Information that you can use in Transmart for creating custom documents and that kind of stuff with kind of origin. Here shows a reason of export. That of information that can be used for your commercial invoice. Again, on the right, working with the dates, you have a pickup for today and delivery for tomorrow. Again, you have the carrier selection over here. So if you're not satisfied with this carrier, or you have to change it because this carrier is too late to pick it up or something like that, you can still change. The source line, of course, being the t-shirt. The pickup address is now the location Castle. It can, of course, be different pickup locations also, depending on your document that you're creating this one. And then we have the ship to and the invoice address. We have it on sell to address because they are the same. For instance, if you had to have a different invoice address for this customer and you set the ShipIT setup for bill to address, that different address will be shown over here. Be aware, everything is correctly filled right now because this is demo. It should be very accurate. If it's not accurate, you get a lot of errors trying to book this. Because carriers are just depending on good postal codes, good region codes, rates also depending on that to get the correct rates. So be aware that your basic data in your system must be correct. Also, some carriers have mandatory that we have an email address or a phone number. Some do not have that mandatory field available, so it's a little bit searching of best both worlds. If everything is okay, we can book this document. Let's just book it. Let's see what happens. it just went through. I got a status here of being booked, and I received a tracking number over here, and I received also track and trace. It's a demo, so it will not find anything, but if it's an operational shipment, you will see information about the track and trace. So it's now, let's say, on the way. You see over here another status. This is the real status from Transmart. Some will have it booked depending on the carrier. Some will have it all new because it's then not yet received at the carrier. What we can do from here, we just show a little bit more. We have open in dashboard over here. That means that we can open the portal. So the booking that I just made is now also in the portal. The shipment is created, still pending, not sent to carrier, and so on. And the information that you did see is now available also over here. When this takes place today, DHL will pick this one up later this day. It will go in a new status in transit, or other statuses from the carriers are sent to Transmart portal or SendCloud or Delivery Hub, and it will be updating this information over here through job queues. So if you set up a job queue to just look once a day, twice a day, or multiple times a day, you can just update those statuses over here. So you have real-time information where you're sending, where your transport is available at that point. We have also a recall over here, so we can also, if we can ask from, we can recall it until you, let's say, have a certain state, for instance, in transit and so on. Then you're past recalling it. I just now try to book it. We have also the print function. I will try to do it. Not the print installed. Let's see what happens. Normally, if it's a book and print function, it will just print the label. It's now downloading the label, and I have the label over here. So also that information is now available in Transmart, or in Transmart in Business Central, on this transport order. What can I tell you about this one? You see also the status here, label printed. And again, if we go back to the shipment, and this will also be then changed to label printed over here. So for each different shipping agent / carrier, this will do your shipment. So no different portals more needed for creating your transport in the DHL portals or the PD portals or FedEx portals. It's just this is going just to the transport orders themselves. So you see over here, the list is, let's say, probably a little bit the same as you see for the list over here. If you go to management shipment, you see also the list over here. That list is also available in Business Central, and you see also here, statuses like booked and label printed and new and so on. So you have information all available in Business Central. So let's try to go back to the providers and also do available. It's available. I'll do this. No. So we have already retrieved the information. So this put it on no. This is box 1. That's needed for this one. I will enable transport. So if I may, yes, I may. Same procedure for SendCloud. If its data is extracted, I go to the shipping agent mappings. I click new, and I will do to the PostNL SendCloud, and I select post, and I have available services 24, and the other one I will pick up over here. SendCloud. It's just a default one for SendCloud that you can use with shipping rules. So I mapped the shipping agent code with the carrier for SendCloud. I will go there, and I will open also the service. We have the service for SendCloud, and this is the big difference between SendCloud and Transmart. You can make multiple service available, and it will calculate the correct service based on weight. So I have the standard service. I will click on this one and go to write what I want me to do. So this is standard over here, and I can include this one, and I can include this one as a service. And we close, and I have 2 booking profiles selected over here. We have also the return. We have a standard post, and I'll return over here. This is a return. I can use that one also. Close, and I have 1 booking profile for the return right now. So I can, of course, I can make 1 shipping agent per booking profiles, but for SendCloud you can just group them. And this is only one. It's the instant letter that we can use, and we can set as a default include. So for testing purposes, this is also interesting. So you will not get an invoice if you try to book some examples. Use instant letters if you are in testing environment. Otherwise, with SendCloud, if I post a booking with PostNL, it will try to pick up my postings in the castle this afternoon, which is not needed, of course. And then we always change to SendCloud to make a booking without having any cost in place. So this is the difference with SendCloud on the shipping agent services, and then I will also maybe just I will just create also the sales order for SendCloud. Click new. Don't know what that means. I think that has to do with licenses. I have to delete. So I think that has to do with my license. Let's check that one. See if we can correct that one. Paste. So, this will work. We have to. Sorry about that. I hope it's only license issue right now. Where was I? Why not? Okay, I have to check. That's pity. And we continue with the delivery. I'll check and see what's going on a little bit later on. For the providers, I will also send it out for the delivery right now. See if we can get that one to work correctly. Delivery hub itself also the same with the mappings. If we have, for instance, MyDL Express, I think that's the correct one on this that we can use. Then you see the same functionality that we have in connecting and mapping the booking profiles with the shipping service agents. Again, a lot of mapping to do if you have a lot of services enabled and a lot of carriers in the review, because that can be very big online. So this one is also now enabled, and I will close this. I hope that then this one will do something for me. Otherwise, I will skip this part. Certainly a problem with license. Don't know why. I'll try to see if it can help me. If this is the issue, not sure. Okay, was something on? I hope you are still there. My connection failed.
Andre, maybe it's a good time to note that there are no questions.
Yeah, perfect.
If we are waiting for this.
I hope we can resolve this because I think my environment is giving up. I'll just try to restart it. Not quite sure what's happening. Still there? Let's see if we can. Still not sure what's going on. Not quite sure what happened, but doesn't matter. I will just go through it. Now I have delivery up enabled, but let's see what we have. Provide a delivery up over here, and you see also the difference when selecting the delivery up, the item. Let's see what I have. I think I used this one before. A little bit much. On the same part also, this is defaulted from delivery hub. What we need from delivery hub is also then the connection. This delivery hub being there, and because we have, let's say, different services and different packages, the packages is not defined right now because we have a lot of packages for each service. So I have now delivery up over here. Sorry, DHL over here with a lot of packages. I will show you later on that I take another post node or something like that, and it will change the complete set of packages. Same procedure, of course. From here, we can do the create transport order. I find it's not happy today. Working on it. Okay. Same procedure, so you will notice that the only difference is that you have on this part here in the delivery hub, you have the service selected, but you can add additional things to your service. So this is all additional in the delivery hub, and you have your inventory over here. So you can include in one service different things, and that's the main difference between the delivery hub and transport and SendCloud. But the rest that you see the same transport order again, with information about locations, ship to addresses, and so on. Only what we need for now for this one is weight, because the default package that we selected does not have any defaults over here. We can set it up, of course, in the ShipIT provider. Set it for these packages. I'll do it manually. And the weight of the box is 1,000 grams. And normally it should also then have a booking right now. Let's hope it works. Yes, of course. That should be there. If I don't have labels, I have to set a label type for the user. Again, if you have a drop zone installed, you have to do a lot of things over here for get the printing enabled, but that's more the end shift part of this. Let's see. Book on print. Book works. Let's see. It's too big. And now something happened. So you see the same information over here. Again, we have the tracker number available. Tracker trace is available. Also, we can open this one in the dashboard, and it will open the consignment delivery hub information about the carrier, the information that we see over here, and what we are sending. And let's try them for the other ones then, just to be sure. I will do one attempt with the SendCloud. I hope it's just a little bit of clicking, almost there. Up, up, and down. And the instant letter. There. So, for all good sakes and good luck, let's see if we can manage to post this one. Looks like it was just a hiccup somewhere in the system. I'll take this t-shirts from the castle as a location. T-shirts. defaulted over here. Again, SendCloud over here as the provider. Click post L, yes. And the agent standard, yes. And again, now because we can do the carrier selection over here again if needed. So you can see the price over here. You can see which one is active. So depending on your weight, it just pick this one out of here. And we can just continue also the posing process or just create a transport order from the sales order. Yes. So the service over here is now selected, also available as a package. So everything is also completed. Also not that much of a difference between the other ones. You have the SendCloud solution over here, and you can also try to book this one and see if it works. Okay, we have now a track and trace also from personnel. And what I have to do right now is recall it, because otherwise we get a personnel carrier this afternoon over here. So I recalled it, and I can reset it if I want it, and I can do it again if it's changed or wrong or something like that. Of course, in the portal, if we go over here, shipping, I think it's now also cancelled over here. Yeah, so this one is cancelled. So also push to the portal and happy to be picked up by the carrier. So also very easy to have all the information for the transport orders in SendCloud available, and also in Business Central available. What do we have more right now? And maybe you did see a little bit about freight charges that coming by. Just allow everyone. No freight charges. Also, what we can do right now with setting up the freight charges is a little bit different. If I get an item over here, and it will just pick up the freight charges available from that item, from that the customer. I'll just put it over here, and I will show you a little bit. Now it's 10 euros for freight charge. This is Euro Plus. We have to pick up now Transmart. It's assigned a box because I now have 3 providers enabled, so I have to choose which one, and then I have to service select. So then, if it's enabled, you have less efficient, let's say, defaults. For this service charge, 10 euros. How is that working right now? 10 euros. I go to the customer card, and we have in there the possibility now to set up service charge and add service charge based on selected service. We go to the invoice discounts, and we have, let's say, the service charge enabled over here. So it's now picking up 10 euros from 0 euro, from 50 euro, 5 euros, and we can have a surcharge based on the freight cost also. So this means that we have minimum amount of 50 euros. It will calculate €5 extra and 10% surcharge and the freight cost. Let's change it a little bit. Back one. Cancel, and I will say 10 pieces. It's now €112. And if I do the carry selection right now, it should change this information over here. This 1020 over here. This one, okay. And then you see that this is changed. So it's now calculating the freight and the freight line cost and so on. So it's more embedded now within the services and service charges available in Standard Business Central. For now, also what I want to do, just to be aware how it should go through a warehouse process, I will not go to all settings and all different solutions for it. I'll just show you one how we can do it. So when you compose documents, we have the possibility to set up posted documents. We have the beta features enabled. We say how to create a transport order, and I will change this one to a warehouse. I'm going to click everything to the warehouse process. With a released order, we create a warehouse shipment. You see, because we have the warehouse information copied to sales information copied to the warehouse information over here, so it's filled over here also. You can do the processing over here. We can create the pick. Nothing to handle. So this means that we have no t-shirts in these locations. Okay. Warehouse location. We can solve this very quickly. Wharehouse partitions. Yes. Let's see. We can manage to create the pick right now. So we did do the pick, we did do the pick line, and we're going to register the pick. Yes. So we have a completely picked warehouse shipment. You can post it, post shipment, ship or ship and invoice, of course. And normally it would create the transport order also on this part. Create it, and I can open it. Again, using the same information, and you can just book or print. Look at this to the Transmart portal. So this is, let's say, the same procedure with posted document to the warehouse process. This works for delivery hub and SendCloud. A little bit the same, only the SendCloud you have to be aware. If you use it through this part, it's best to use it also with the shipping rules, because SendCloud will stop because you have to do carrier selection on your create transport order part. So you cannot do direct posting in the SendCloud portal. You have to do this final service selection. But basically the process is the same. What do we have more? We have one more thing to go. Yeah, new. Take a datum. What I wanted to show you is the additional licensing, and otherwise goes away. What we can do right now is provide it again. This is Castle. This is should be able to make just a post. This posting this from the cast now, because it's on posted documents. I will do ship. You can also get the transport order. Yes, there we have the transport order available. And now I will change my license again. Sorry about that. That wasn't necessary in the beginning. Somehow there was an issue with it. I pick up the license key. I'll change it to the extending license key. So this is a valid license key with delivery of link delivery lines with branches. So this is now enabled over here. You can use it, then enable it, disable it, and this gives you the possibility for in a transport order get some more fields filled. First, I'll go to the transport order.
Andre, can I pop in?
Yeah.
So you were talking about the warehouse shipments.
Yes.
I got a question coming in about that.
Yes.
Stating that we were now talking about, so I will quote it. So it is not when we post the sales orders, but more the warehouse shipment, correct?
Yeah, both. I just the one that I did just now, it was from the sales order posting the shipment. If you have no location with warehouse settings, and if you have location with warehouse settings, you will go through the warehouse to make the posting. So you have both options.
And there was another question following that. We do not need to invoice the sales order and delete in quotation marks to create to delete it to create a transport order.
The sales invoice, no, it's not needed.
So
So
there
it's
is.
let's say you can just click on first to ship, then you create your spot order, and later on you can post the sales order, create a sales invoice from the sales order.
Okay.
So that's separate processes.
Okay. I hope that answers the question. Sorry for barging in, but I saw these questions coming in specifically about this topic and not specifically
That's
here,
good.
and not for the Q&A later.
That's good.
Okay. Sorry for barging in. Please continue.
Yeah, will do. Okay, I created a spot order right now. I have 2 lines with quantities over here. I have 1 box defaulted, and I have 2 delivery lines with 2 quantities. And with the additional license, you have the possibility to create the creation box is in the standard license also available, but what we can do now with the creation box, we have box 1 and box 2, and we can assign items to boxes. So we can align assign to this box, and item 2 you can also then assign to the second box. So we have now assigned lines to boxes. Also, you see it over here. So this is additional that you can do, and then you have more information for your documents on the site. It's a little bit more work for the user, of course, that you have assigned, but sometimes it's demanded by customs that you need this information, and also by some carriers that need that information. But that's just the additional license that you can require at our sales department. So this part is then, let's say, having more inside information. I don't know if I can book this one. I will try it. It could be that the calculate weight is too big. Yeah, I think so. Calculate weight will be too big right now, so I cannot post it. Maybe I can change this one. Just to be sure that we can post it. I don't know if it will go through. So total is very big. It did go through. Okay, so you see also then if you assign those boxes and you have multiple boxes in your lines, you see also that you have for each box a separate track and trace, so you can trace it separately. If one box is delivered and another one not, you have that information in place. Yeah, that's about it for, let's say, additional packaging. What do we have more? Yeah, well, one topic, sales quotes, that's new. If you are using sales quotes and freight costs and that kind of stuff, you can now also do the carrier selection in the sales quote. And that gives some more information in what you want to invoice to your customer about freight cost, but it's always, of course, an expected freight cost that you are going to quote. If you change it in the way you only need process, it can be different, of course. So again, pick just one laptop. The div box is over here. We have to select the agent, or we can go just the carrier selection. This is the cheapest for the delivery. And now the service charge is there. And so you can use now the quote function to get service charging in place, and also have that service charge directly sent and processed to create the order, to make order, and you can continue with the sales order process. So that is new in this release also. And from the sales order again, you can go to the complete warehouse process or just post it as fingerprints with the transport order itself. Yeah, it's about for this topic about sales quotes. Another thing that we see from market, there are two things that we see from the market. One is the combination between ShipIT and Tasklet Factory. A lot of the features that we see over here are just discarded if you have the Tasklet Factory apps enabled. So you see your posted documents over here. If Tasklet Factory is enabled and available in your business central environment, this will always be on open documents because Tasklet takes over and Tasklet will do the complete handling on the mobile device, on picking up the box, selecting the correct carrier and service, and with the booking of the mobile scanning device, it will also post your warehouse documents. So it's always going through the warehouse and always post e-document, even if it says unposted documents over here. So there's one thing to notify that Tasklet will not do anything with this information over here being posted documents and unposted documents. So dividend and unposted documents and everything will go right through. Other thing, last topic for today, it's almost 12 o'clock also. We have locations or services, and we can with default Business Central calendars. So the location castle. Let's see if we have the calendar in place. No, it's not in place over here. Let's see if we have Saturday working days. If you want to work with working days, this, for instance, if you have your transport place on Friday and default, if you do not use calendars, it will say, okay, Friday pickup, Saturday delivery. But also that can mean that you have a service of a carrier that is not delivering on Friday. So you need to specify that the delivery is on, for instance, Monday. If you want to specify that it's a Monday. So you can do this on, let's say, multiple places. Basics, you can just do a base calendar code on your location where you have to ship to. The other part that you can use is, of course, what works is your opening hours of your warehouse, those. So if you have a carrier that is picking up the goods before 5 p.m., 3 p.m., for instance, and your warehouse is just registering the order at 5 p.m. and the transport order then is created and it will just switch to the next day for pickup if there is a setting for it. That setting is also available in shipping agent calendars. I'll try to explain a little bit more about that. For instance, we have the shipping agent code over here being DHL. DHL has a Euro Plus service, and that one is picking up from 08 to 1500. And this means that if you register and post or create your transport order after this time, your date will be plus 1 day. So it will be picked up tomorrow. But if that's working days and it is Friday, it will say now it's not picked up tomorrow, it will be picked up on Monday. So be aware that if you set it, the service will act on the different services also. If it's for complete DHL, you can skip the service, of course, but if you, for instance, have a DHL with a service on Saturday, and it's the same, and you have the calendar, this is only that Sundays are closing dates, and it will just say, okay, it will be picked up today before 3, and it will be delivered on Saturday instead of it will be picked up today before 3, and it's working days. It will be. Oh, sorry, I do it now only over here for delivery time on Saturday. So this means that this one is picked up on working days, but we can deliver on Saturdays. Also, we have all shipping times that we can say we want to have it delivered before 12. Also, you can use these for that. So Saturdays before 12. This means that they have a planned date and of posting date on Friday, and it is before 3 o'clock. It will being picked up that day, and it will be delivered on Saturday. For this instance over here, if it's before 3 o'clock, it's working days. It's empty over here, so it probably will say Saturday will be delivered. But if it's also working days, you can do it like this. It will be working days next week. So if you want to work with those calendars, yeah, just try something in the sandbox, because it works, but it's also a little bit depending on which day, which hour you're going to make the posting, and also important over here in which date is your working day set, if you have, let's say, a sandbox license or something, because it's now on my set also on auto date. So these are the shipping calendars. So it's a little bit hidden, but if you need something about it, to set it up, try to work with the calendars. And these calendars work also, for instance, with lead times and other things, because these are basically default Business Central functions. Last thing that I want to share with you, log. So I enabled the log file. Yes?
Andre, I'm gonna cut in because we only have a little less than 10 minutes, and there are quite a few questions.
Yeah.
In the questions.
This is the last part. Is I want to show you the log file for the creation. Also, if you need these creations, you can see what's going on in the log, and you see requests and responses over here. Sometimes it's good to check those if there are issues with it. All right. Yeah, that's the last part. Archive is not that interesting right now. So yeah.
Oh, if I knew it was so short, I would have waited another minute.
No problem.
But I heard you say another topic.
The time is really flying. So that's
okay.
a lot of questions. Let's continue with questions.
I have a couple of questions. If you, as an attendee, have another question to ask, put them in the question tab. We will now run through some of the questions. If you ask your question here and it's not answered during the session, we will follow up with you directly. So even though there are quite a few questions, don't hesitate to ask yours. I saw that someone had a question about the warehouse shipments, but he didn't specify the question itself. So I will first go to another one. The question is as follows: regarding the mass and volume conversion in the Transmart setup, how does it work? What is the goal of those fields?
Well, it works together, of course, with the items. We did see, for instance, that we have, let's say, in our test environment items. So it's hanging a little bit. You have set up for your items for gross weight and net weight. And if your items in gross weight and net weight are based in kilograms, and Transmart is doing everything in kilograms, so you do not have to do any conversions about it. If you're having your items in grams and we're working with kilograms, you have to make that conversion, or maybe not in grams, in ounces or whatever continent you are. You can work with the conversions to get the correct information in your transport orders itself to calculate the correct volumes and line weights. It's again very slow. Can't show it now.
And do you need to? Is there a conversion in ShipIT, or do you need to convert them yourself?
The conversion is always trying to convert, let's say, the item in weight from the item card into the correct weight for kilograms to send to Transmart.
Okay.
So that's.
But you should always check it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should always check in your customer how the customer did set up the items. And certainly also the delivery being done in grams instead of kilograms, that can cause bad behavior, not really bad behavior, but a lot of errors because everything is too heavy to get transported with DHL. Huh?
Yeah, that's a thousand difference.
Yeah, it's 1,000 gram or 1,000 kilogram. That's a huge difference. It's now opening. So, does that answer the question a little bit? So this is, let's say, this is my net and gross weight. This is kilograms right now. That's the conversion not needed for Transmart for this part.
Okay, shall I continue to the next question?
Yeah, if it's clear, then it's okay. Just continue.
I don't have a confirmation that it's clear, but how you explained it, it made sense. If we choose the planned date option in the ShipIT setup, which date will be retrieved from the sales order in the preferred delivery date of the transport order? Did you already answer this during the?
If it's a planned date, the requested delivery date in your sales order will be then the planned date.
So from the sales order?
Yeah, or from your warehouse shipment. Dus if you have a planned date of if your sales order is then transferred for your warehouse shipment, that's also a planned date or a date.
Okay.
But the base is the sales order.
Okay, good to know. Another question coming in. If a customer has an account with DHL and with FedEx, for example, is it possible to link both of them to the customer card?
No. No, we cannot right now. I will write that one down. I will write that one down. It's only, let's say, now one-on-one. It's not, let's say, based on different carriers and different contracts.
Okay. Then the next question I have is for Tasklets. Do we need to use the posted documents or unposted? And that is linked to the pick and pack integration. Pick and pack and ship, sorry. That is meant with the pack and ship integration.
Yeah, that's then you have always the unposted. So this is demonstration for Tasklet. I will open a different company right now, and if we will go to setup over here. You see it's all imposed documents, and imposing date is just a Tasklet date. So this is just totally not used. So it's automatically doing your picking and your packing process in the mobile scanning device. You select your package, you select your items, and then you book in Tasklet, and that booking performs also the booking of your warehouse document and the booking and creation and the booking of your transport order. So it just takes over this part completely. So it's discarding it. So this is the correct setting that you see right now if you work in the Tasklet.
Okay. I have 3 more questions coming from one attendee for a customer specific. So maybe I can ask, I can start ask those questions, and you can try to answer them. But if you, because they are very specific questions, if they are better to be followed up via email, you can also say that, and then we can follow up that partner with via email.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is, the question is as following: when clicking the button transport orders in the posted sales shipment, nothing happens, even though I created a transport order for that shipment. Am I doing something wrong?
Say if you're in a posted shipment.
Posted sales shipment.
A posted sales shipment. This one. So that's a little bit depending also on this. So if you have posted documents and this is do nothing, like this, so you have a posted sales shipment, and I don't know if I have one. They are posted with documents. Normally, if it's on that part, it should be processed, and you can create a transport over here. But this is, yeah, this is not existing. So normally, if this has to do with how the setting is then in the ShipIT setup. So we'll go back here. So then it should be on posted documents, and after posting sales order, do nothing. So that means that you only post the shipment, the posted sales shipment. You go to the posted sales shipment and then create the transport order from there, and that should create the transport order.
Okay, so it's probably something in the setup that needs to be changed.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I have the next one is quite a long question, so bear it in mind. I reviewed your documentation to combine shipments in a transport order automatically, and the appropriate conditions for when shipments can be combined into one transport order. But when I manually combine multiple sales orders into one shipment in BC, regardless of their shipping or delivery date, etc., I'd expect ShipIT to disregard the above mentioned requirements to make one large transport order, since I've already combined the sales orders into one shipment. How does the functionality of ShipIT work here? Can I do any configuration setup here to work as I'd expect? So
yeah, then your warehouse shipment is, let's say, all specifying which carrier is needed and so on. So you already specified your carrier and your services at that point. and then I think you're not able to create a transport order from that point. And then you can try to make it work with transport worksheets. So there's also a function called transport worksheets. So that's the correct setting is like this. ShipIT setup. To impose the documents, and you do not create transport orders at that point. What you can try to do is see if you can use transport worksheet, and you can see how, let's say, the source lines are built up. So we can fill in the templates over here. You can create templates, for instance, on location, on shipping age to age service levels, and running those templates. And you have, let's say, posted sales shipments or warehouse shipments. I don't know if I have some. I do not have anything in here right now. It will create all those lines over here. And then you can see if one of those is missing, for instance, or have different maybe dates or different email types of call centers. So there can also be the problem that it's not creating the transport order in the same time. So, so if you have issues with that, just try to first make some filtering over here. I don't know if I have anything in here. I don't think so at all. Maybe I can try to like maybe I can get something, but I think most of it is posted. It's fine. No, I have nothing right now. But try to do it with transport worksheet and see what the differences are. So that's my suggestion over here. See if you can cope then with maybe different setup on your customer cards, or maybe posting date, plan date, and that kind of stuff.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving that that tip on the transport worksheet.
Yeah.
Another question. It's again a specific one. When I have a sales order containing 10 items and I ship only 5, the other 5 are not sent in the XML to Transmart as a back order. Is there some way to add or set that up?
No. You then create a second transport order for the other 5.
That's a very clear answer. I have one last question. I know we're a little bit over time, but I think that the last question is a bit more easy to answer. Is a planned date with Tasklet possible?
No, planned date is not currently also available with Tasklet. It's also the Tasklet posting date is just the posting date in ShipIT, Transmart, and so on. So this control is totally done in Tasklet and the mobile device.
Okay.
The posting date is the pickup date, and then, yeah, well, maybe your calendar can do something about, let's say, the delivery date. That one.
Okay. Thank you for answering the questions. And there are no additional questions coming in right now. Andre, thank you for your time and the demo you just gave.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you talk to a little bit later on.
Okay. Thank you, Andre, and thank you everybody for joining. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.